Welcome to this episode of our special series, 7 Minutes with Vivek Sood, with Supreme Court senior advocate and country's top legal mind, the man who coined the expression, the fundamental right to internet. Today we will understand from him the whole debate happening right now around the issue of remission granted to 11 convicts in the Bilkis Bano case. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me on this platform.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, straight to the question itself about Bilkis Bano case, where 11 convicts have been released on remission. Now, what's the concept of premature release of lifers from jail?
So, when an accused is sentenced to life imprisonment, now life imprisonment is till the end of the life of the convict. However, most of the state governments, most of the states have sentence review guidelines based upon the conduct of the accused or the convict in jail, based upon the brutality of the crime, based on a confluence of factors. You have these guidelines that permit premature release of lifers from jail, say after 14 years, 20 years, 25 years. So most of these states have these guidelines, and you have sentence review boards comprising of police officers, personnel from the home ministry of the state, retired judges from the district judiciary, etc., etc. So it is a big panel, and a lot of checks and balances are there in that process. And after that process is undergone, certain convicts are chosen for premature release from jail. So This is the concept of premature release from jail of convicts who are sentenced to life imprisonment.
Right, sir, right. Now, for the sake of our viewers, sir, for our audience, can you help us understand this Bilkis Bano controversy? What's this all about, actually?
Now, the Bilkis Bano case is a case where 14 members of her family were brutally murdered, and Bilkis Bano was raped. So, about, I think, 11 accused were finally convicted by the court after a criminal trial, and they were given life sentence. Now, they have undergone many, many years in jail. Now, the Sentence Review Board in Gujarat, in the state of Gujarat, has arrived at a conclusion after due process that these 11 convicts should be prematurely released from jail. Now, whether that decision is correct on law or not, that's the question that is being raised in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of this issue, because every issue has legal ramifications. So whether in view of the brutality of the crime, should these 11 convicts have been released prematurely? That's the question that will be ultimately decided by the Honorable Supreme Court.
Right, sir. Why is there so much of debate around this whole subject? Is the release legally justified? How do you look at it?
In my experience on the criminal side for 3 decades now, and I have seen innumerable such cases where lifers have been released or lifers have not been prematurely released. Now, keeping in view my experience and the confluence of factors, in view of the brutality of the crime, after all, 14 people were murdered, and these 11 convicts have been found to have committed the heinous crime. And Bilkis Bano was also raped in that heinous offense. Keeping in view the brutality of the crime, in my view, premature release of these lifers is legally unjustified. Now the controversy, has been blown out of proportion, and the politics has come into it, the media has come into it. But I'm taking a very legal view based on experience and the confluence of factors that are relevant to determine whether these lifers should have been released prematurely or not. In my view, no, no, no.
Right, sir. Right. So your view is very much clear. Now, how do you look at it? Who is responsible for it? Is it the government of India, government of Gujarat? Because so many voices are there across social media, in the media. Your views will be of great help to understand this whole debate better.
In my view, it's purely a legal issue.
Okay.
The government of India has no role in this process. The government of Gujarat has no role in this release of the 11 convicts. Ajay, I must say that the government of India and the government of Gujarat, they have better things to do. So, this is a decision of the executive comprising of a sentence review board which has people from the Home Ministry, retired police officers, retired judges. So it is a panel and there is a due process. It is based on reports from the jail as to the conduct of the prisoners, etc., etc. So many factors come into play. So in my view, the government of India and the government of Gujarat is not responsible for the release of these 11 convicts prematurely. Having said this, it's a purely legal issue. People have a right to talk about it. People have a right to give their opinions about it. We have a vibrant social media. We live in a vibrant democracy. Eventually, it is a legal issue that will be finally decided by the Honorable Supreme Court of India.
Right, sir, right. Now, where do you see this going forward? Like, the matter is now in the Supreme Court itself, and the release has been challenged, and if I understand it correctly. So, where do you see it going forward?
Ajay, I'm not an astrologer, and we are trained as lawyers not to predict decisions of the courts. But with my experience, in my view, the release of these 11 convicts is legally unsustainable. I would not want to predict the judgment of the Supreme Court that will come tomorrow.
Right, sir. Right. You have made your point, and I'm sure Supreme Court will deliberate on all legal points regarding this particular issue. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of 7 Minutes with Vivek Sood. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.